What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American Politics, back again with a new video. And today, it is time that we talk about not really the 2024 primary. Yep, I know. I got you for a second. We're not going to really talk about the Republican primary for 24. I kind of want to look ahead to 2028. Why? I'm starting to get that feeling that Trump, in my humble opinion, as of now, is going to secure the Republican nomination. And quite frankly, we need to do some soul searching as a party to find who is the one candidate that can be the future of the GOP. Right? I'm not going to include names everybody talks about like DeSantis because quite frankly, too many people talk about it's like, yeah, we get the point that you could make an opinion about him being a great candidate and all, but I'm just saying we're going to talk about some candidates that, in my opinion, don't get enough praise, and arguably they're conservative enough, and the electability argument applies to these people. Now, let me be clear. I'm not bashing anybody. I'm not bashing DeSantis. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just saying, in my opinion, there are two candidates in particular, one honorable mention, on who I think should be the Republican nominee in 2028, not including people like DeSantis. Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the Twitter accounts in the description down below. Guys, follow Real American Politics on Twitter. Elon, stop the shadow banning. And of course, join the channel today. Guys, I don't think I gotta say much more. Just for $3 a month, you could join Real American Politics, which is a phenomenal deal, as it helps support the daily content we all know and love. You love the daily content, you love the live streams, you love the YouTube videos. Well, that is the best way to support the channel, by joining today. So I hope and recommend you join the channel today. Alright, let's get into it. So like I said, we're not going to be talking about people like Ron DeSantis or anything like that. We're going to be talking about people that people probably know, but they don't get enough talk about 2028. Because 2024, in my opinion, is looking more and more, barring Trump getting actually convicted, it's Trump's nomination to lose. And I don't think he will lose the nomination at this point. So, like I said, there was three people we will be discussing today. One of them is an honorable mention. And a lot of people are going to be pissed off about this. And, you know, I was debating about this, but looking at it, yeah, this guy, if it's not 2028 and Republicans somehow lose the White House in 2028, he should definitely run in 2032. J.D. Vance. Now, again, like I said, I'm not saying, oh, we need to run him in 2028. I'm not saying, you know, oh, he will win by 600 electoral votes. I'm not saying that. What I am saying, however, is J.D. Vance, when you look at him, especially the past couple of months, he is winning a lot of respect by not only many people on the right, but a lot of people in the independent column. You know, a lot of people, they may have not liked Vance beforehand. They may have voted for Tim Ryan because they know Ryan's a quote-unquote moderate bunch of baloney, but what he did in East Palestine won the hearts and minds of hundreds of thousands of, if not millions of Americans to his side. And, well, he's proven everybody wrong. He's had, I would say, the best voting record in the U.S. Senate. He has good optics. I mean, whether you like it or not, he did better than Trump in the suburbs. The areas that he struggled in was Eastern Ohio, Tim Ryan's area. So these people saying, oh, he would crash in the suburbs. He did better than Trump in Cincinnati. He did better than Trump in Columbus, in Cleveland. What happened? Well, Tim Ryan was the best Democrat candidate they could have ran. Basically perfect for them. And, well, yeah, he only lost by 6, 7. And that's not an indictment on Vance. Vance didn't even campaign much. I mean, he should have campaigned more. If he would have campaigned more, he would have won by 10. Let's stop ignoring that fact. He barely campaigned. He still won by like 6.5. Okay? Now, he's won the hearts and minds of countless people. He's proved the loser right completely wrong. He actually has a conservative voting record. His optics has been phenomenal as of late. And in my opinion, in the future, he could be a serious presidential candidate. Now, let me be clear. The reason I have him as an honorable mention is this. He only ran for one election. And I don't think he'll run in 2020. This is a candidate that, especially in 28, I give like a 10% chance at most this guy runs. Now, he also has great issues. I mean, his political stances are very, very based. He is one of the best Republicans on the issues in the Senate, and he has perfect optics. He's developed great optics in the last couple of months. Again, the East Palestine stuff has and will propel Vance into a bright future. Even the people that hate Vance, they're admitting they're starting to like this guy. He is a great senator. But like I said, I think he would, in 2028 in particular, he would be better suited as that VP candidate. All right? 2032, we can discuss that if we somehow lose the White House in 28. But Vance, I think, for a VP position in particular, would be perfect. He would energize the base. His optics have been great. He's an actual conservative, and he adds something to the ticket. He's someone that's not going to be, I'm a conservative, but I only care about corporate tax cuts. No, he's an actual conservative on the issues, and he's proven he can beat even the best the Democrats can throw at him, even without barely doing any campaigning. So Vance is the honorable mention. I argue that he's better suited as a VP candidate in 2028. That's just my opinion because he was only won one election. But here or there, I think most people can agree Vance has proven a lot of people wrong. Now let's get into the main people. And the first person we're talking about, I would say is the second person on my list. Again, I'm not including people like DeSantis. It's a controversial pick, but even my good friend Yankee Perspective talked about it. Josh Hawley. You can argue all you want about Hawley. Let's just face it. This guy has phenomenal optics. The guy is a younger, basically a suburban dad with 3 kids. He's 43, and he's great on the issues. The only people that he pisses off are resist liberals. Good! If you're only pissing off resist liberals as Josh Hawley, or as somebody like Hawley, you're doing your job. And let's not forget, he is the reason we got rid of Claire McCaskill in the U.S. Senate. People seemingly forget that Hawley won this race by a likely margin. Won it by around 6 points. When, in 2012, and I know that this had to do with a third-party vote in Todd Akin, she won by 15. 2006, she won by around a couple points. And 2018 was a blue wave. But Hawley was a strong candidate even then. He is a great candidate. And he won the primary by a lot. And they funded a lot of money on this race against Hawley. He still won against an incumbent. And remember, incumbency, it doesn't matter as much as it used to. It still matters to a lesser extent. Even then, Hawley outperformed every bit of expectations. You look at the polling. He's only supposed to win by 2 to 3 points. He won by 6. And look at this. He got outspent 4 to 5 to 1. And I know this is a fairly Republican state, but when you're going against a fake moderate like this loser in a blue wave, and she's won by a lot in the past, this is just a freaking miracle that Hawley was somehow able to pull this off in hindsight. And by 6 points, he shows he's strong electorally. Now, we're going to really see how strong he is in 2024. If he wins by 20 points, it vindicates everything people like Yankee Perspective have been saying. Now, if he wins by 15, fine. But even then, he's great on policy. I mean, people may not there's a lot of people that hate him on economics. But on cultural issues, he's perfect. He blends the perfect cultural conservatism you need in America. He opposes abortion. He has great optics on everything else. And his economic policy is the type of policy that would appease the Trump base. People need to understand, on cultural and social issues, the Trump base really doesn't care. And when I'm talking about the Trump base, I'm talking about the lifelong Democrat that probably a union worker in Macomb County. they don't really care that much about cultural or social issues. They care more about fiscal and economics. They tend to lean more to the left. That's just a fact. While the cultural and social issues, in my opinion, was one of the biggest things that hurt Trump in a place like Waukesha. Because, let's be real here, he's not as culturally conservative as past Republicans. That's the one downside about Trump. Hawley, he blends in perfect cultural conservatism with a blend of economic nationalism. That is what you need to, in my opinion, appease both sides of the base. And if he's not the president candidate in 28, again, you can make an argument. I think he should still be the VP. Vance, his thing is he's still young. He's new to the Senate, so, and maybe pushing it, but I think, in my opinion, Hawley would be, for sure, a VP ticket in it. And if he runs for president, I probably would support him in the presidential election because he's perfect. He blends what you need to win as a Republican in 2028. Appeases the more socially conservative suburban Republicans and appeases the more economically, pragmatic, blue-collar, rural Trump voter. It's perfect. But you can make the argument that, 2024, he's not going to, win by 20. Now, if he does win by 20, I think, in my opinion, that this vindicates a lot of what people have been saying about Hawley. But he won by 6 in 2018. Now, there's one person, in my opinion, that in 2028 or 2032, there is one that if we run him, we get a conservative enough option that appeases every Republican, not just, a fifth of the base. And he's demonstrated in the past he can nearly pull off upsets of frickin' miracles. Yep, it's my man, Lee Zeldin. Look, as everybody knows, I've become a Lee Zeldin enjoyer, enthusiast over the past couple of months. Why? He single-handedly gave us the House. Let's be real here. Without Lee Zeldin, at best, we're talking about like a 2-seat majority in the House, or maybe not even a majority. He welded us to victory. And let me be also clear, he's not as conservative as people like Vance or Hawley, which I understand that. But get a more conservative VP like Vance or Hawley, and it's perfect. Because Zeldin, guess what? He focuses on issues that matter to voters. Why do you think he nearly beat an incumbent governor in I think like the third most Democrat state in the country in New York, in a year that was at best a neutral environment for Republicans? Because he focused on what frickin' mattered, and his optics were great. He focused on education. He focused on crime. He focused on cost of living. He is one of the best campaigners the Republicans have, in my opinion, ever have seen in the last 20 years. This guy barnstormed the entire state. And he may have, in my opinion, perfected the Youngkin strategy. The Youngkin strategy is, give the base enough red meat. Stuff like, we're going to get rid of the groceries tax, stuff like that. But at the same time, find one or two issues that appeases these more moderate Democrats that still vote Democrat, which in Youngkin's case was education. Zeldin's case was crime. And he didn't just, this is the thing that people need to understand. Republicans' biggest problem in 2022, they only campaign in these red parts of the state. If this was any other Republican, they would have only campaigned in, Allegheny County, Steuben, Cattaraugus, Ontario, etc. They would only campaign in these blood red counties. And that's it, call it a day. What Lee Zeldin did was, yes, he campaigned and gave red meat to the more northern conservative base. But what he also did, he barnstormed the entire New York City area. He barnstormed every freaking block. You saw signs everywhere. I mean, let's be real here. If Zeldin surged a week prior, he probably would have won. His surge was, in my opinion, too late. It sucks, but it's true. Fact is, he campaigned every single part of the state. Got as many votes. I mean, look at how many votes he won by Suffolk. He won it by 100,000. Nassau, he won by 50,000. Staten Island, somehow he cranked out 40,000 margin lead there, and he held Kathy Hochul to some disastrous leads in Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan. He did great in Rockland, Putnam, Orange. Because that's what he did. Yes, he focused on, real conservative issues in the northern half of the state, but when he got to the more liberal parts, he talked about issues what mattered. Education, crime. Like he said at the freaking CPAC, he flat out said, no, we can't pander to these people. That's not how I won. I won because I gave them a true alternative. That's true. This is the issue Republicans also have. They try to pander like, oh, if you're black, we're going to support a black healthcare plan, the platinum plan and crap like that. Guess what? It doesn't work. Zeldin just says, look, if you don't vote for me, there's a good chance you probably get shot next week. It's just true. And that's what happened. I mean, look at the swing map. Not only did it run it up in the more Democrat parts of the state, he ran up everywhere. 15, 21, 22, 23, and these are the more conservative parts. Look at New York City. It was a perfect blend. And not only that, look at the Senate race. Look at this. Chuck Schumer had his worst performance his worst performance, I think, ever as a senator. He only won by 14. This is New York. You voted for Biden by 28 points or something crazy like that. And look at the House. Look at the House. Republicans, they had 222 seats. Look at the swing map of the House. We won New York 19. That's 1. We won Brandon Williams, and that's 2. There's 3 or 4 there. That alone gives you the House. He welded the Republican Party to a House majority. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 House seats in actual competitive seats he gave to Republicans. If it wasn't for Zeldin, we wouldn't even have a majority. That's just freaking nuts to think. He welded this party to victory. And in my opinion, you get a fairly conservative guy or a nationalist like Hawley, you win in a landslide. You have the perfect optics. Both optics are perfect. You have a more suburban, seen as a more moderate Republican in, a place like Staten Island, and a more conservative but optically good suburban dad of Missouri. It appeases both worlds. This is a perfect ticket. Zeldin, Hawley, or Hawley, Zeldin ticket, whatever, is what, in my opinion, gives us a presidential victory in 2028 or 2032. It depends what happens, but my opinion, that's the future. It appeases both sides. We get an actual conservative, not somebody like Phil Scott that, oh, I'm to the left of Biden on most issues, except taxes. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the Twitter account in the description down below, and join the channel today. Thank you so much. Godspeed to all of you.